Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. You know, the YouTube algorithm doesn't like it when you start cursing at the start of a video. You have to give it a little buffer. You have to go ahead and take a little break of civility and civil language to avoid getting dinged by the aforementioned algorithm. So right away, my hands are tied in discussing how I feel about Willow. Holy crap. Willow is a farging pastiche of a crap show. Unbelievable just how wretched and rote and by the book woke this trash is. Honest to God, I'm having to bite my tongue here, but we're gonna get into it because this is just a rant. I'm gonna go ahead and analyze and kind of talk about all the things that I hate about Willow. But look, I'm really having a hard time biting my tongue. Oh boy, I just want to let the F-bombs fly. But here, let me just cut to the chase. Willow sucked, all right? Willow just sucked. It's embarrassing in a lot of ways, not just for fans of Willow. For fans of Willow, it's probably going to be excruciating, but I'm just talking about just as a casual viewer. One questions why one is watching this, why one is having access to Disney Plus. I'm not paying for Disney Plus. I would never pay for Disney Plus. I'm not giving these people a dime, but I'm watching it through the assistance and kindness of strangers. In other words, I have access to another account. And I gotta say, it's almost like why do I even access to another account when you have to watch crap like this?
Well, of course, you know, you were very happy to have it for Werewolf by Night, which was fantastic. And of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was fucking amazing.
You're right, Harvey. So it just shows you that with Werewolf by Night and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Disney, like a stopwatch, is right twice a day. But the rest of the time, complete and total fucking waste. All right, now I can let the F-bombs fly, hopefully. I think it's enough time has elapsed since the beginning of the video. Although I'm gonna have to try and not just make every other word an F-bomb or I'll get dinged. All right, so what do I think about Willow? Well, watching this first episode of Willow, and I know there's 2 episodes posted, but fuck, I couldn't bring myself to watch the second episode. Not yet. I don't know, maybe I'll keep looking at the damn thing. I guess I'm gonna have to keep reviewing it for Pop Culture Breakdown, which is tonight at 7:00 p.m. Central. We will have a panel about Willow at that point, but I wanted to get my licks in first. So, okay, what is Willow? Willow is a show that makes you wonder as you're watching it, whether you're watching Disney Plus or the CW. I mean, the lead kids for this show are a brother and sister, and they talk like contemporary teenagers on the CW. They use contemporary slang. Their attitude is extremely contemporary and everything else. It's just an embarrassment. The dialogue in this thing is cringe, and I will quote some of the worst of the dialogue, but it's just pathetic. It really is a CW show that somehow got placed on Disney Plus. It's just awful, folks. I mean, this is just, it's just so typical. I'll explain myself better. All right, let me go through my notes. So we start out with a fierce battle on the edge of a cliff, and it's all very scenic and everything. That's one thing about the photography, at least, of Willow, is it's quite beautiful. The photography, the cinematography is outstanding. Okay. So anyway, they're having helicopter shots or drone shots, and they're, tracking around these amazing fierce warriors that have helms on and full armor, everything. And of course, when one of them falls and their sword is at the other's throat, they flip up their helms, and of course the fierce warriors are fierce young girls. Yeah, when they take off their helms, we see that. And not only are they fierce, proud, amazing, stunning, and brave women, they're also lesbians in love. Yawn. And the princess lesbian is having to marry a boring, ineffectual prince from a neighboring kingdom to facilitate an alliance. Of course, it's the same old story. The lesbian princess freaks out and shows her disregard at a ball celebrating their betrothal for her brother by putting a small pumpkin on his head. And in a drunken fit of girl power, she's going to go ahead and throw a knife at the pumpkin, not bothering to ask her brother's permission in this little stunt that stops the entire betrothal, and everybody's just staring and feeling embarrassed. She's ranting about girl power, tells a parable about girl power, and so on, and is about to throw a knife at her brother's head, maybe hitting the pumpkin, maybe not. She doesn't give a shit about him. He's a white male, so fuck him, right? Who cares? She's stopped from that, and then, the mother says, what the hell is your problem? And we have some more CW level dialogue about, girl power should marry who she wants, and, lesbian power and everything. So anyway, after this cringy scene and all this shit, the brother, by the way, is a womanizer. And it shows him making out with his hot blonde scullery maid under a tree when they come and fetch him for the ball. All right, so anyway, an attack comes from magical enemies, and they materialize, and they can teleport around and turn into smoke and cast magic and all sorts of shit. And I just wonder, well, if these magical enemies are able to besiege the castle, and there's this great barrier that they've talked about earlier that surrounds the kingdom and protects the kingdom, I wonder, what the fuck is the point of the Great Barrier? I mean, if it doesn't keep out these magical interlopers, these evil attackers, then what the fuck is the point of the Great Barrier? Maybe it's not a Great Barrier. Maybe it's a so-so barrier. Maybe it's a shit barrier, frankly. Anyway, it doesn't work. I think they need a bigger wall. I can't say. Anyway, in the course of this, the women fight and everything is going around. And then the womanizing, slang-spewing prince gets abducted. He is, of course, the damsel in distress. So in response to this attack, to go find the sorcerer Willow and rescue the abducted brother in distress, they idiotically send the young, inexperienced lesbian princess, her lesbian teenage lover, the two that were dueling at the start, an old white male knight, I wonder how long he will last, a lovable warrior rogue from the jail, and the young and boring prince that the lesbian princess is supposed to marry, who hasn't got a dangerous bone in his body. He is meek, he is bored, and for some reason, he's going along. Right, yeah. Like this king of the neighboring kingdom is going to risk his son and heir to the throne, who obviously has no combat experience or skill, send them off with this tiny questing party to confront the danger. Yeah, that makes total sense, right? Fucking idiotic. That guy is tagging along just to make the girl power seem all the more powerful and continually belittle men along the way. It makes zero sense that the king is going to send off his only son and heir on this risky mission. So as this ragtag bunch of teenagers and old farts, basically 5 people, are riding out of the castle across the drawbridge, They ride past tons of armored knights and guards, and I'm just laughing. It's so fucking stupid. I mean, why the fuck would these monarchs risk their remaining kids to go rescue another kid when they've got a shitload of troops just standing around? I mean, go ahead and put the teenage lesbians in charge if you want to have an all-girl powery vibe of the whole thing. Lesbians are the bestest ever, and so on, yawn, whatever. But the logic of not sending along a lot more troops is just too stupid to bear. Oh, and the kitchen scullery maid that the abducted teenage womanizer brother was boinking follows them and joins the party. So you basically have 3 teenage women, 1 ineffectual male, 1 old white male dude, and 1 wild hairy ethnic guy just for representation on this quest. At this point, I'm just like, why the fuck am I wasting my time on this shit? This obsession with spreading gay stuff in everything, with having girls be the bestest ever, with making plots butt stupid just to accommodate all this agenda nonsense. It's not only annoying and destructive, it's also boring and predictable as shit now. Yawn, another gay couple. Yawn, another brown-haired, loudmouthed woman to serve as Kennedy's surrogate in the lead. Yawn, more bad, boring, or hapless men. Yawn. We've been there, done that, and taken a shit on the t-shirt. Fuck Disney, and fuck Kennedy for taking the entertainment out of entertainment. So they're camping around. The ineffectual prince brings a flute and he starts playing it. He gets bitched at by the annoying princess who, is the bestest ever and passes judgment over him. The scullery maid cooks them a lovely meal, so they think she can stay. Now it turns out that the barrier is a magic force field. So again, I ask, how come these evil guys got through and abducted the prince? Well, I guess we're about to find out. So what happened to Allura? That's a question that Willow fans will be interested in. Well, the barrier is said in the discussion to be there to protect her. One day she'll come back, kick evil's ass, and be the bestest ever. Okay. So, it's when we see the barrier, it's basically like kind of rainbowy. It's full of all sorts of shifting rainbowy colors, so I think it's symbolic. I don't know. Anyway, the scullery maid goes away from the camp for some reason. She crosses a chasm that has a fallen log across it. Why is she doing this? Who the fuck knows? She heading home? Looking for the abducted prince? I don't know. She plays around with the barrier. She can mold it with her hand and she walks right through it. Kind of a shitty barrier if a scullery maid can just walk through it. Or maybe she's not just a scullery maid. The princess and the party catch up to her after she's, gone out of the barrier. And they say, hey, you gotta go home. And then, holy shit, the scullery maid says, you're not the boss of me out here. Oh, God. The dialogue is cringe and fucking CW to the max. And now we come to the inevitable degradation of a white guy, because you can't have a woke show without degrading a white guy. I mean, that's like, a day without orange juice is a day without sunshine, right? So, of course, the white guy has to die immediately and in a humiliating way. So this old white male knight is lecturing these girls on how dangerous it is to be out beyond the barrier and how you have to be constantly vigilant. And at that moment, he gets shot through with an arrow and dies. Har, har, har. You can just hear Kathleen Kennedy cackling at that. Because, all white males are a joke. And older white males are especially hated by Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. And that's why we hate them right back. So, Bone Reavers are attacking and they shot the white male. Of course, that's the only victim they can possibly get because he's old and he's white and he's a male. These poor bastards. These poor dumb reavers, they don't realize they're going up against two lesbians who are the bestest ever and covered with 3-foot thick plot armor. John Kasdan fucked up Solo spectacularly, and now he's fucking up Willow spectacularly. What a piece of shit. Oh, and of course, as they ride off and are being, pursued by these reavers, nobody even momentarily mourns the death of the old white knight. They just keep quipping away with their goddamn CW dialogue. And of course, the girls are so badass that they kill reavers even as they're fleeing the reavers. They get away by jumping over a cliff into water. All of them survive, but the big bad reavers are too scared to follow because they're not as tough as the teenage girls. Yawn. The ineffectual prince is politically correct to boot, my friends. That's right. In a discussion with the princess as they're walking, the prince tells her that she's a very pretty person. Oh, fuck this woke shit. Seriously. Fuck it. Anyway, at the end of the episode, shades of Luke Skywalker, Willow finally appears. They finally get to him. Willow says the brother is alive and the captive of the withered crone. The withered crone. Ah, well, it's nice to hear such a clear and accurate critique of Kathleen Kennedy from the very characters she's trying to corrupt. Anyway, spoiler. Here's a spoiler if anyone still cares about this shit. The scullery maid that the prince was boinking is Elora Danan, lost blood of Crimmeria. She's the last best hope against the evil coming to destroy them all. Yawn. And that's when the episode ends, and that's when I walk away. This is garbage, folks. This is the same old shit. Doesn't it even ever get boring to the people making this garbage? I mean, it's just so paint by the numbers woke. It's just exactly the same shit we've seen over and over and over and over and over fucking again, and I'm just sick to death of it. So anyway, that's my feedback, my reaction, my rant about the shitstorm that is Willow. I wouldn't waste my time if I were you, but hey, it's a free country, at least for the moment. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry, and you probably want to avoid Willow. Ha 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 ha